what's up everybody, this is Nightwing2303 from sneakerfiles.com, and today we have a performance review for you. It is on the Adidas Adizero Rose 2.5. So without wasting too much of your time, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so as usual we'll start off at the bottom of the shoe here. As you can see, the main difference between these and the 2.0s is the missing splatter traction surface. They went back and put everything back to normal as far as what we had seen previously in the Adizero Crazy Light. So I thought that this stuff worked out pretty well. The grooves are not as deep in this shoe here, so you know, longevity, these won't last as long as say something that was found on the 2.0s. If you need an example, we have 2.0s here, so you can just see how much more spacious and how much bigger the grooves are in all of the traction areas, whereas these ones are very thin and very small. So as far as its long-term effects goes, you know, really who knows, especially if you're playing outdoors, it will wear away the rubber rather quickly. However, it will last a lot longer than this stuff here, which was just basically a smoothed out surface with some texture on it. So traction, I have no complaints. It wasn't perfect or anything, but it was definitely very good, especially for it not being something that you would normally consider grade A traction like herringbone. So cushion of the shoe, you just basically have your typical foam setup. It's full length from heel to forefoot, and this foam is not as soft as the Crazy Light and not as firm as the 2.0s. So this is somewhere right in the middle, which I personally preferred. I really liked the foam that was in the Crazy Light just because of its cushion source, but it was a little bit on the soft side for maybe quite a few people, whereas the 2.0s was way on the firm side, something that a lot of people did not like. These are just right in the middle, perfect mixture, and it worked out perfectly. You get nice smooth ride from heel to toe. It's very consistent throughout, and I have absolutely no complaints whatsoever. If you like foam-based cushions, I personally do recommend Adidas's Adicrene. I think it's some of the best foam around, besides the stuff that they use with Jordan Brand. So mostly inside of the shoe, it's going to be just like the Crazy Light. So the Crazy Lights have that little cutout right there in the sprint frame and the heel, and that has the foam lying directly between the cut, and that's for impact absorption and protection for heel strikes. And then where the sprint frame ends from here up, it's all foam as well. Something to help provide with impact protection and absorption is the insole that they provide you with. It's a PU insole, which is polyurethane. I did previous write-ups on this on Nightwing2303.com. Again, you can go there for stuff that you don't see in the review videos here. So go there, check it out, and you'll see more information on all of this stuff as well. But basically, this stuff is awesome. It's very impact absorbent. It's very resilient, and this is probably one of my favorite insoles besides the Ortholites that are not spongy, if that makes sense. I like Ortholite, but not to where they're just like very, very soft. I like the dense ones, like what was found in the Flyweight 2. So cushion overall, I think it was awesome, especially for foam. If you have not tried foam cushion yet, I do recommend it. It's much easier on your body, on your joints, your knees and your ankles, and all the little joints and bones that are in your feet as well. So just take a chance. Something like this is fairly cheap. It's $110 retail, so it's definitely worth a shot. So as far as material and fit is concerned, materials were pretty nice. You had a synthetic toe and then a synthetic collar. It is flexible enough and durable at the same time, so it really kind of holds you there. It retains its shape decently, but at the same time still allowing for your foot to move in a more natural state. You know, instead of being restricted by like a really tough, thick, durable material like maybe a fuse or things like that you have to break in for quite a bit over time. Now, the midfoot section, you have your sprint web. This stuff is very, very similar to the sprint web that was found on the Crazy Lights, and that actually I wouldn't say scared me, but that's pretty much the best way to explain it. It kind of did, you know, distract me a little bit from wanting to play in these, but turns out it worked out pretty well, which is something that has to do with the support, which we'll get into in a little while. And then you have your TPU sprint frame, which is in the heel. It's very similar in size to the Crazy Lights, and then that extends all the way through the midfoot region. And then, of course, you have your solid rubber and your Adiprene midsole. So, materials, I thought that they were great for what they are, especially for the price point. As far as the fit is concerned, the heel, I received a pretty good lockdown. The GeoFit collar right here, it was very nice on, especially on your ankle areas. There was not really any chafing or any rubbing or hot spots that was that typically, you know, kind of annoys a player. So that was great. You can wear pretty much any type of sock with these, and you won't get any rubbing action against your ankles, which is nice. The midfoot section with the sprint frame, they have extended it to a slightly wider base than what was seen before in the Rose 2.0. The 2.0 was very slender and very narrow, so these guys right here, they widen it out just a little bit, which is going to be nicer for the accommodation of more foot shapes or sizes. It still might be a little bit irritating for some people with certain foot shapes or extremely wide feet. So again, you just want to try these on, you know, just to see if they'll work. But you know, they did extend the width, especially in the forefoot section of the sprint frame compared to the last model, which was the 2.0. In the forefoot, however, that one was a little bit more on the wide side than what I would have liked. Lengthwise, they do fit true to size, but width-wise right here, it was just, and it literally is just right here, there was just a little bit of extra dead space. Luckily, the sprint web and the sprint frame kept my foot in place in this section, so there wasn't too much moving around, but it's something that I could feel when I am running around on the court, and I just personally don't like it, but it wasn't anything that really affected the shoe's performance whatsoever, because these things were pretty close to perfect, you know, overall. So materials, I think that they're nice for, especially for the price point. You're paying for synthetic material. They say that it's synthetic, and you know, it's not extremely expensive. And then as far as the fit goes, they worked quite a few areas in the midfoot section with the painfulness that some people might experience with the sprint frame from the 2.0, and they kind of widened that out to accommodate more foot shapes, which was nice. So ventilation of the shoe, it was very nice. It's very similar to what we had seen with the 2.0s, although these do enhance breathability versus the 2.0s in a few areas. The first one is that there are some small perforations in the toe, where it's not going to make that big of a difference, but in the 2.0 there were no perforations whatsoever, so in that sense you can technically call that an enhancement. And then in the tongue area, there was absolutely no breathability whatsoever in the 2.0 as well, whereas this one has a full-on mesh tongue. So again, it's just another little upgrade or enhancement, slight modification, and it gives you just a little bit more breathability or ventilation. Now, as far as the midfoot section goes, I've said this quite a few times, but with Sprint Web, it offers you the greatest amount of ventilation that any shoe can provide. Some people disagree with me, which is fine, but I personally feel that Sprint Web gives you the best airflow in a sneaker, like bar none, that you can find on a retail shelf. So, you know, the entire thing is see-through. Like, you can't get it any better than Sprint Web as far as ventilation is concerned, in my opinion. Basically, this Sprint frame is slightly different than the Crazy Light. We have it right here. So basically, your heel cup, hopefully you'll be able to see that. Your heel cup is just a little bit taller, and then it extends out on the sides just a little bit further. The main part that was upgraded as far as the support goes on the Sprint frame is that it is a little bit longer. Not much longer, but it's about 1/4 of an inch longer in the forefoot area. So right here in the Crazy Lights, I was getting a lot of buckling with the materials, which would cause my forefoot to roll. The Sprint frame in there ends right here. So that's where it ends in that section, and then these ones are right here, and it's just about 1/4 of an inch further up the foot of the shoe, which doesn't seem like much, but it actually caged in that section to where it wasn't forcing a rollover, especially since this material is very soft and flexible. So the support comes from the heel cup and the sprint frame, which is all one piece. It allows for maneuverability on the medial side, so you can do all of your point guard moves. If you like flexibility and range of motion, you can get around your defender, you know, roll around screens, things like that a lot easier because it's open on this side. And then on the lateral side, it is rigid so that you hopefully prevent a massive injury with a rollover, which is nice. And again, it was extended just slightly, just enough to really kind of harness that midfoot section to prevent the materials from folding over. Alright guys, so that pretty much takes care of the review on the Adizero Rose 2.5. For its price point, this is one of the best sneakers that you could buy. It's about $110, really can't beat it. It's got ultimate ventilation and airflow. You have enough support within the sprint frame. If you like foam cushion, the Adi print that they use in here as well as the PU insole is perfect. It's not too soft, it's not too firm, so, and it's durable. That's the main thing, is that a lot of these key areas that are going to be high wear areas are durable on the shoe, which is nice. So again, 110 bucks. These are at retailers now. It's definitely worth your time. So I highly recommend these. These are definitely on my watch list for one of the best sneakers of the year. So thank you guys for all your support. Thanks for all the likes, comments, and subscriptions. Make sure to check out sneakerfiles.com and stay tuned for more. So until next time guys, have